DCS inmates who tested positive for influenza A H1N1 now fully recovered. The Department of Correctional Services has reported that the initial group of inmates at St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center, Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, and Horizon Adult Remand Center who tested positive for the influenza A H1N1 virus have now fully recovered. The DCS says there are no confirmed cases being treated at any of the correctional facilities. As such, the Medical Services Division has confirmed that it is safe to resume all activities as scheduled, effective December 1. As a precautionary measure, all visitors, staff, and inmates will be required to continue wearing masks until further notice. The DCS says it will continue to monitor the situation closely. 23-year-old farmer charged for double murder in Craighead, Manchester. A 23-year-old farmer has been charged with the murder of a bartender and another man at a bar in Bigwood, Craighead District, Manchester on July 13. Joanne Williams, otherwise called Dangles, of Pike District, Cristiano, is charged with 2 counts of murder, possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, wounding with intent, and using a firearm to commit a felony. The Mandeville police say about 10:10 p.m., a woman was at her bar with 2 men when they were pounced upon by Williams, who brandished a firearm. He reportedly opened fire, hitting all 3 persons before escaping in the area. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, the injured person were taken to hospital, where the woman and one of the 2 men died, while the other victim was treated. The deceased were identified as 35-year-old businesswoman Tanisha Burton of Craighead, Manchester, and 74-year-old Wilfred Mollison, also of Craighead. An eyewitness statement was used to identify Williams as one of the gunmen. He was subsequently arrested and charged on Friday. Opposition suggests establishment of bipartisan, multi-sectoral committee to address challenges facing bauxite mining industry. Opposition spokesperson on environment, Sophia Fraser-Baines, has suggested the establishment of a bipartisan, multi-sectoral committee to address the mirage of challenges facing the bauxite mining industry. She said in addition to conducting a cost-benefit analysis of the sector, it would be prudent to focus on alternatives to mining, as the remaining lifespan of the industry is an estimate 40 to 60 years. She also expressed concern over how Jamaicans living in bauxite mining communities are treated. Fraser-Baines was speaking in the Senate on Friday.
So we have to consider, what are we going to do beyond mining? And there are several options that are available, but certainly there has to be a broader review of the mining industry. We are talking about persons who have for decades whether sold, traded, exchanged their lands for mining and still can't get titles for their property because of the generational issues and other issues that obtain. And I think that we need to perhaps set up a bipartisan, multi-sectoral committee to truly look at bauxite mining and all the issues associated with it to see how we can treat with it for the benefit of Jamaicans. When it comes on to bauxite mining, there are too many Jamaicans who have been negatively impacted, and the manner in which we have treated Jamaicans, especially those living in bauxite mining communities, cannot continue. And one of the concerns that there is over and over is the lack of the rehabilitation. I visited St. Elizabeth some time ago, and the dust nuisance that came from the mined out pits that have not been rehabilitated was resulting in a number of residents around the area having to seek medical attention, the respiratory challenges, some of them spoke about skin issues that they were experiencing. And so I think that the time has come for us to seriously have a focus on bauxite mining.
Deportation jitters. As the countdown to January 20, 2025 begins to the return of Donald Trump to office, many undocumented Jamaicans are scrambling to find ways to evade the mass deportation net that his incoming administration has threatened to cast over the United States. At least 3 Jamaican-American immigration attorney, Florida-based Wayne Golden and Winston Tucker, as well as Simone Archer of New York, have reported an uptick in the number of people seeking advice on how to deal with their status. A similar situation has been reported by a well-known Jamaican American immigration advocate, Irvine Clare Sr., head of the Caribbean Immigration Services. Clare and all three attorneys have struck a common theme in their advice, which is that people should ensure that they are in a possession of their documents, and they are encouraging their panic-stricken compatriot to act with urgency in filing their paperwork. Tucker told reporters that he has seen about 25% increase in the number of those seeking information on how best to proceed with their immigration issues. He noted that while each case is different, my advice has been that they should seek counsel with one caveat: be careful. People need to be in possession of all relevant documents, which should include an indication of how long they have been in the country, among other things, Tucker advised. As he did in a previous interview, Tucker reiterated that he does not believe that the incoming Trump administration will be able to just pick up and deport large numbers of undocumented immigrants. He noted that people who are designated as serious criminals and a danger to the society, and others who cross the border with Mexico, have facing a hearing and ordered removal, but are still in the country, are likely to be dealt with first. Meanwhile, Archer of Archer Lawyer PLLC said she too has noticed a considerable increase in the number of people seeking advice on the best way forward with their immigration matters. The jump in people seeking advice became noticeable close to November 5th election, where Trump won decisively after warning the campaign trail that he is intended to deport millions of illegal immigrants if he won. It has since accelerated, people who work with immigration stated. Some of those seeking advice have specific avenues available to them to deal with their situation. Each situation is different, but one advice I try to impart to people is that they need to have their documents in their possession, Archer stated. It is important that they act immediately to deal with their situation. People who are married to United States citizens, for example, should file right away, she advised. She said that those with children whose situation needs to be formalized should also act with urgency, as their case will have to go through the Special Immigration Juvenile Status Program, under which the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services seek to make a decision on a special immigration juvenile petition within 6 months. Golding told reporters that the inquiries are coming from people who benefited from an executive order by President Barack Obama between 2008 and 2016, which allowed them to remain in the U.S. while their cases were being dealt with. There is now a real concern about this particular benefit could be removed, causing serious problems for the beneficiaries, stated Golding, adding, most Jamaicans who are in the country illegally did not enter through the southern border with Mexico, but have generally overstayed their time. A Westchester County, New York immigration attorney, Doug Stone, said he too has seen an uptick in the number of people seeking advice about their status since the election. Early last month, a Trump-appointed federation judge in Florida struck down a policy by the Joseph Biden administration, which was aimed to make a path to citizenship for some undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens. The measure, which was seen as one of the most beneficial presidential action to help immigrant families, would have allowed undocumented spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens to apply for a green card without having to leave the country, according to published reports. The judge, J. Campbell Barker, wrote that the Biden administration had overstepped its authority by implementing the program. In the meantime, Christopher Benjamin, the community relations officer at the Jamaica consulate in Manhattan, said the Jamaicans with immigration issues should seek the services of a qualified attorney, as the consulate cannot interfere in the immigration laws of the United States. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.